Hey, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Thank you so much for the support, for all the subscribing, liking, and commenting. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, my name is Enes, and I've been trading stocks and options for the last 5 years. And the point of this channel is to share all the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way so I can save you time and money. So without further ado, let's get started. In this video, I'm going to go over how I'm going to chart two of my favorite stocks, Square and Netflix. Let's get right into it. First things first, I like to pull up the weekly chart. It can be the 5-year, 3-year, 1-year, weekly, doesn't matter. But as long as each candlestick represents a week, we'll start from there. After I'm on the weekly chart, first thing I like to do is to look at where the current price is, which now is about 133, and then I'll look at the whole thing in general. So things that stick out to me are, easy highs and lows. So the first thing that sticks out to me is this level, and then after that you have a high over here of 82.78, and then another high here of about 83.2. Whenever I get things like that, check this out right here. Create that zone. Now people are like, oh, why are you drawing levels from 2019? Check this out right here. This is February 2019 and this is July 2019. And this was previous resistance. Look what happened. If we just scroll here, boom, look at that. That's literally where Square bottomed, right? These levels are more important than you think. Even if you're just a scalper, do you see how on this day you literally could have scalped or day traded this whole up move just based on levels that you had from 2019? So if you haven't been using the weekly to chart, I highly recommend that you start doing that. All right. And then I'll just since I don't need this anymore, the stock price is higher than 101. So I'll skip and I'll see any key levels around that area. So here, for example, here's a pullback and it stopped at 111. And then here is a high. A lot of times people say, oh, the support or resistance, the more it hits, the stronger. Not necessarily. On the weekly, just one high or one low could be significant enough to be a strong level. And the reason is because on the weekly, it's a lot of volume, okay? And volume is what really moves the market. So in this case, this high right here of 133, interesting, 133.81, which kind of ties into, right, where the stock currently is right now. So that's very, very interesting. Let's keep going. Now after this high right here, it pulled back hard about 20% and did a low of about 134 or 134.26. So what I would like to do here is take like the lowest part of this one, or the lowest part here and the highest part here, and then create a nice zone. So let's see. This one's higher, so I'll take 134.26, the low of this, and then I'll take 133, and then I'll do that rectangle. So boom, I'll take that, and then I'll take this low, and then I'll draw that zone. And then I'll extend it all the way to 2023, and then check this out. Here, a high of July 2020, and then the low of September 2020. If we just go here, look at that, right? So as you can see, this is a huge zone. If Square gives up 133 or even like around 132-ish, it could pull back hard. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's just continue charting and then take it from there, because as we all know, Square could also run, right? And also, if you hold down the control button and you move the wheel up and down, that's how I'm doing that, which is very, time saving. And then when you click on the wheel, that pops up. If you hold the left click, you're able to zoom in like that. And you also have the magnifying glass to go in and out. So a lot of, again, tips and tricks that can save you some time if you're just new to the platform. So let's zoom in here. Last level we did was about 134. Boom, here's another obvious high. And then here is a low. And then since the stock is at 133 and I'm starting to draw levels around 150, 170, that's not, making, a lot of sense, because it's like $20 away. So let's see if there's any levels currently where on the daily. So I either look at the 6 month or the 9 month. I'll zoom into where the current price is. It wouldn't really make sense for me to start by drawing off the high of the all-time high. Like, what good does that help me if I know that Square's all-time high is 289? At least in the sense of if I'm going to be day trading options, right? And that's typically what I'm trying to do. Just as a reminder, I'm currently doing a 5K challenge, and it is now about 12,000, and took about a $400 loss on Friday, but that's okay. I'm on track still to continue doubling the account every 10 weeks. The goal is to hit it to 100K, over 100K by the end of the year. Let's see how that goes. But so far, everything's looking good. Just have to stay consistent and keep the losses small. Now, zooming in here on the daily, again, I click the wheel of the mouse, and then that pops up the drawings. I get the $sign, which helps me create the levels. Now, here's the obvious high. And again, the more you do this, the easier it gets. Click, left click. And then here, you got another high of 149. And then you got this high of 147. So whenever there's like two lines close to each other like that, again, I like to draw a zone like that. All right. And then also pay attention to how this low right here, 131.73, very, very coincidentally, right, match the high here. It's the oldest mantra in the book. Old resistance becomes new support, and old support becomes new resistance. So, and not to say that that's going to happen every single time, but that's where it's more likely to happen because of trader psychology and, fear, greed, and all that stuff ties into it, and it all just manifests itself over and over. Another key level here is the low of this candle, which is 127.23. That's key. Now, if you zoom in, you're going to see there's a couple of sneaky wicks right here. 129.64 and 129.81. Over there is where buyers stepped in and held the stock up, right? So around 129.64. Yeah, so 129.64 is where buyers stepped in, so that's a key level to watch. And then you also have this close right here of 130. That's very key because that's the the lowest close before it just pushed higher. So boom, boom, another chance for a nice zone, and I'll extend that as well. So as you can see here, Square has been kind of in a range since end of March, and then I'll draw the high of Friday, and you have the high of the day before. You have the 142 level, and then also you see this level right here, 137.68, the low of this bearish day. And then here, again, close zones, 137, 138, that is a key level, and so is that. And I'll draw that rectangle right there because that could be potential resistance for Square. And that's how I'm going to look to play Square this week. I didn't get enough time to do Netflix, but keep an eye on that on the next video or one of the next couple videos. I'll also chart Netflix and talk about how I would play, calls and puts on it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please smack that like button. Smack that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I will see you on the next video. Yahoo!